Philip, Maria, hey, congratulations on being in the second season of Lego Masters.
Thank you so much.
I do have to admit, this latest episode blew me away. So,
well, it clearly blew us away too. So we're right there with you.
so tell us, when you first got the call to be on this show, what was your reaction? Oh my
gosh, it was the whole experience running up to like the casting process, like continuing being narrowed down over and over again, and just the unexpectedness of like at some point we're like they're just gonna say no, and then like for season 2 they never did, and it still feels very surreal. Like it's not something that we necessarily like had on our bucket list, or didn't know we had on our bucket list until it happened. And now we're like, this whole thing happened and we were there, and it still doesn't seem like it happened. It's very, very surreal.
And there's been so many moments along the process where we're like, well, now it feels real. Well, now it feels real. Like there was the phone call, and then there was the first time we went to set, and there was the first time we started recording and started building.
Will and Amy and Jamie, and you're like, is this real?
And even after we got home, obviously we were eliminated, so we went home before a bunch of the other people did. And of course, none of the information had been released about who the contestants were.
Yep.
And so we were kind of living in this really weird, like dead zone of we were there, but like now we're back, and nobody knows, and we can't share this experience with anyone. Did it actually really happen? So yeah, there's just been this whole series of like, wow, I can't believe this happened events, and it's been really fun.
And even watching the episodes up until now, having been on obviously 7 episodes, and it still seems weird to see us on TV. And I think I figured it out about a week ago, because when you're filming the show, you film it in very much a first-person perspective, right? Because you're looking out on everything. And then when you watch the show after the fact, it's a third-person perspective because you see yourself out there. And I think that's kind of helped me realize and kind of like make this a little more tangible.
Do you yell at yourselves watching yourselves on TV?
No, surprisingly, I don't think that we did. No.
There was a moment last night when they were doing the Lego Learn with the judges, and Will,
oh my gosh.
And Jamie was like, oh, you do this and then you do this, and we were like,
oh, like if we had just done that, it would have worked out so well.
If only we had known.
Yep. Because when they're doing the Lego Learn, like they'll usually film it while you're on set, but you can't hear a thing because it's fairly like noisy in that room, like while stuff's going on, and they don't want you to know that they're talking about the secrets.
One of the things where people, maybe they notice, maybe they don't notice, but you're the only married couple for that entire show. How did that make you guys feel that you're competing against non-married contestants?
In a lot of ways, I think probably because we have been married for so long, I feel like it kind of gave us an advantage because, especially with the siblings, a lot of them hadn't been building together for years.
That's true.
And so we were building together at home. We already knew how we worked together. Yeah. So in that way, it felt like an advantage. But also, it was just kind of really fun because in some ways, we were kind of like the cast parents. And like, I would make sure that like Lauren got enough hugs, and it's just
there is on the show, like when you're filming, with a lot of reality shows, I'm sure, and having gone through this now, understanding it, there's a lot of stress, right? And there's always that clock counting down. There's long hours. You're also being recorded all the time, and I think one thing that Maria especially did really well was like making sure that like the other people were able to be energized and feel that love. And like you could tell when people were down, and we would kind of like swing over there and try to cheer them back up. And the cast this season is very tight, and we always kind of said you're not competing against the individual, you're competing against their build. And I think it comes through on the show for sure, and it's super family friendly as a result, and we just love the experience. And again, being able as a couple and living together, like, you know, for the rest of our lives, hopefully, it's always an experience that we can share between the two of us that, like, even the siblings will never understand.
Yes, I highly encourage future married couples to audition for
Absolutely.
the show.
Well, 16 years. You've lasted a lot longer than half the country. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
they say if you make it 10 years, that you'll probably make it the full distance. So if we didn't get divorced after being on the show, I think we're probably good.
For each of you, when was Legos always relevant in your entire lives, or was it something that you picked up during marriage?
Yeah, for me, there was a brief period like during my teenage years and then into my early like my early 20s, mid 20s, where I didn't build at all. But I've been personally building for the past 11 years and building my own stuff, right? So that's a lot of what you see on the show is the people that are on the show. Sets are great. I love sets, love building sets, and we have plenty of them around our house too. Obviously, you can see the ones behind us, but I love building my own stuff. It is my creative output, and then I sucked Maria into that vortex, like building about 2 years ago, but being part of the community since about 2013.
Yeah, I mean, I had a Lego set growing up. I remember my brothers had the little force men and stuff, but I mean, I didn't really play with Lego. And so, you know, I remember when he first started getting into it, he'd want to buy all these Lego sets, and I was like,
Why are you buying it?
I don't get it, but okay. Anyway, but I would help give him like creative input, and I would help keep his Lego organized, and but I didn't really personally start getting into it until about 2 years ago, and since then we've been working together to build things. I've made a couple of my own things, and I love, like you said, the creative outlet that it is.
And it's a hobby that we share together.
And it's a hobby that we share together. We don't have a lot of hobbies that we both like to do, and we're very complementary in our styles. He likes, you know, structure and gray and brown, and I like details and bright and, you know, colors and that kind of stuff. So
The one wonderful thing about throughout the entire season is a lot of stuff is dedicated to your children. How involved are your children with your Lego hobbies today?
So our kids, they, for any kind of birthday, Christmas, or whatever, it's always Lego sets. They have a Lego collection themselves alone, just themselves, that like is far, like vastly like larger than what I had as a child. So they love building with us. I'll start building like a specific thing. Like I made a couple characters a couple weeks ago, and my son comes downstairs and he's watching me do that. So he goes up, and with his collection, he builds a lot of characters. And yeah, and Lego does a fantastic job of like getting hands-on and teaching kids how to like learn, like how to be creative, and how to use like these different systems in a palette and using it to their advantage, which I think really, for me, I can say for sure, has contributed to my career. And I hope that they learn from it down the road as well. Whether they choose to continue to build as adults, that's up to them. They're their own individuals, but there's Lego all over our house. It's everywhere, every room, constantly on the floor, and trying not to step on it. We have cabinets full of Lego. We have our mantles covered with Lego. It's a massive part of our life. They love going to conferences with us. It is a big part of our family.
I actually asked our 11-year-old, I said, are you like getting tired of Lego? Like, do you not like it anymore? She's like, no, I still like Lego. Okay, good.
I think once like things in the show start simmering down, they'll be like right now it's tough because there's a lot of stuff going on revolving around the show and whatnot. But
we're busy and everything is Lego, so maybe
right,
a little oversaturation, but.
Well, you know what? It sounds like your household is it's a nice, fun house to be in, but you got to wear shoes. That's probably one of the.
Yes, I am actually wearing slippers right now that have a hard base because stepping on the Lego brick is legit painful.
Most excellent. Well, once again, Philip, Maria, hey, congratulations for being part of season 2 of Lego Masters. You lived a dream that a lot of adults lived and wished during their childhoods, and that's what you did.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.